and welcome to my channel. I'm Dawn Robles. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in the United States. I am in the Phoenix metro area, and today I want to show you how to make, I didn't even put that in view, how to make this larger size picnic basket. With Easter coming up, and my girls being older, I decided to go ahead and just do this and stuff it with a little bit of money or gift cards for them, and a little bit of chocolate and gum, of course. So mine does have a lid, and it opens on both sides, and the handles will rotate. So I'm going to show you how to make that today, and we are going to be using some retiring product. So many of you may have heard that Stampin' Up! Our new annual catalog is getting ready to go live next month in May. And Stampin' Up! Has done a color refresh to our color family. So not only are we getting 5 new in colors, we are getting several new colors to the color family, and some of them will be retiring. Some of my favorite ones are retiring, and it hurts me so bad, but I understand there has to be change, right? So today I'm going to be using the soft succulent, which is retiring. And if you like, I will post the colors that are retiring. But if you do like some of these colors, I highly recommend going to my online store and getting those purchased now. So the soft suede ink pad, or your refill, your papers, your blends, if those are colors you like, don't wait, because these are going to be while supplies last only. So soft suede is retiring, Bermuda Bay, rich razzleberry, some of my favorites, Pacific Point, some of those are retiring. Again, I'm sorry, I will list those on my Facebook page and my Instagram page for you as well. Another item that we're using that's going to retire is it's called Like an Animal Designer Series paper that was in our mini catalog. So it is specialty on one side and just regular on the other side. And I just love these prints. So I want to use it up, but yet I don't want to use it up, because then I won't be able to get any more, you know. But anyway, that is what we're going to be using today. I have so much to tell you, and I just can't remember everything, so my mind is like going in all different directions. We are going to be using the Warm Welcome stamp set. This is going to carry over, but not to our annual catalog. It is going to be located in the section called Online Exclusives. So there are going to be some some items that are in this section that you will only see online. So make sure, if you want this, to go over to that section and order it. If you want this with the dies, make sure that you order it before May. I don't know if it's May 2nd or May 4th, but make sure you get that, and you'll get your 10% off your bundle pricing, okay? So I told you soft suede is retiring. Our essential tags is also, punch is also retiring. So this was $19, and today it is now $9.50. If you're like me and you like to put tags on bags and tags on cards, go visit my online store and get this ordered, again, while supplies last. Sorry, guys. Anyway, now we're going to get started on today's project. You will need a piece of Designer Series paper or cardstock. This will work with either one. That is cut at 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. For the lid, we are using a piece that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. You will need 2 pieces of DSP for the lid that measure 2 1/4 by 2 5/8. For your handles, I used a 1/2 inch by 10, and you need 2 of those. And then for the to decorate the handle, I cut a piece of the coordinating Designer Series paper at 3/8, and we'll cut that down to 10 as well. Now, this project is super simple. I'm not kidding. It's a very, very simple project. You can create a lot of them in a few minutes, which is really awesome, using our fabulous cutting board. So the darker blade is our cutting blade, so I want that out of my way, and I'm going to be using the lighter gray to do some scoring. So I'm going to start my scoring at 2 3/4, and then I'm going to slide it over to 5 1/2. I'm going to rotate it once, and I'm going to make those scores again at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Okay, so what you're going to have is you're going to have 9 squares here. On this first fold line, we are going to make some cuts right down to this first score line. So this 2 3/4 score line, we are going to make some cuts. So we're going to put in our paper. We're going to go to 1 inch. We're going to bring our cutting blade to 2 3/4. And then just go straight up. I think I need to. Then we're going to go to 1 7/8. Again, we're going to go down to 2 3/4. Straight up, and then we're going to go over to 2 3/4, down to and straight up, and then we're going to take this over to 6 3/8. And again, I am going to 2 3/4 on this side. It's hard to see on this paper. And making my slit, only I made a mistake, so let me go back here to 5 1/2. Same thing, cut up. 6 3/8 and then 7 1/4. Same process. Okay, so you'll have your cuts only to that first score line. We're going to rotate it to the opposite side, so your cut pieces are here. We're going to do the same cuts on this side. So we're going to line it up at 1. It is super hard to see. 1 7/8, 2 3/4, 5 1/2, 6 3/8, and 7 1/4. Okay. Man, I did something again. Donny. So the side that is got the cuts on it, you're going to line that up at 4 1/8, and you're going to make yourself a little tick mark at the very top. And I'll show you why in just a minute. And at the bottom too. So just make yourself a little tick mark at the top and the bottom right there. And then let's go ahead and fold our score lines. It has been a Monday, let me tell you. It has just been crazy. I've tried to record like 6 times and my phone just keeps blowing up. And then my daughter's trying to register for the SATs and she's needing information, and I didn't realize that they charged you, like she was telling me, like $200 or something. And I thought, nah, that can't be right. So I'm going to have to do a little research on my own and find out. So all I've done is I've scored all those lines there. And then where we made these tick marks, right here and here, all we're going to do is grab your big scissors and we're going to create that perfect triangle. Okay, so if you take your point, it should have been at 4 1/8, that looks a little disoriented, but we'll see, and just make one nice cut from this corner to that corner, and same thing. You will make that perfect triangle. And we're going to do that on both sides. And I find it easier to use bigger scissors. When you use the bigger scissor, you can just get one straight cut. And if you're having to move your scissors, you're not going to get as straight of a cut. Not that it's going to matter a whole lot, because most of it's going to be buried anyway. So if you want that aged look, you can take your sponge dauber, which there is a price increase coming as well. So these are going up 50 cents starting in May. So if you need new sponge daubers, I would recommend getting those now. If you want that aged look on here, you would just go around, and I did it on every cut. So I had that nice finished look, kind of that aged look, and I just did that. So let me finish doing this real quick, and I will be right back. Okay, I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back. I went ahead and just aged those ever so slightly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my electric glue. Oh my Lord. I'm bringing in my liquid glue. And then where my triangle is, I'm going to tuck that back, and I'm going to take these first two strips. I'm going to add glue to this corner right here, and then on the back of the other side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull those over, and I'm going to join them so they match up perfectly here and create one piece. Just like that. And I moved it. We'll hold it in place for a minute. And then towards the bottom of that, I will place a little bit of glue and attach it to my triangle. So that now is one piece. Okay, then I'm going to take the next section and do this, well, not the same thing, I'll show you here. Let me put some glue here. And with this section, I'm going to put it over, and then I'm just going to match up each point here. So I'm just going to overlap it so the points meet, like so. Okay? And then I will put a little glue right at the bottom there and attach it to that piece. So now this is all one strong piece. Then I'm going to add a little glue to each tab here, and I'm going to pull this over, and I'm going to make it straight. So these two pieces should come across like so. And then you will have that. We can go ahead and cut. You will need a strong scissors to cut this away. You want to cut this little triangle tip here. You'll want to cut that across flush. My scissors are not very strong, a little bit dull, so maybe sharp scissors is a better way to say that. So you'll want it just to be even that way. Then you're going to flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side. Like I said, it's a very fast project. It's just fiddly when you're trying to film it. But I promise you, it's a quick, cute project. Same thing. Come on here. And then we're just going to bring it to the point where the points line up. And then we'll bring this one straight across. Like so. Okay, and grab our scissors and cut just this little tip off right here. I definitely think it's time for a new pair of scissors. Good thing that's going to be hidden in there, huh? Okay. So I will go ahead and bring my cutting board back in so we can do a little more scoring. I forgot to score the lid. So I'm going to start on this side and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. And then turn it around and score at 1/2 inch again. Then I'm going to turn it on the 5 1/4 inch side, and I'm going to score that at 2 3/8. Okay, and then 2 7/8. And what we want to do is we want to cut away these long 1/2 inch tabs right here. So we're going to cut that so we only have these 2 tabs left. Which, I did have another one cut for you. What did I do with it? Yeah, hold on 1 second. Okay, I found it. So I had made a quick template for you. So when you cut away your parts, you're going to end up looking like that. Okay? Then on your tabs, you're going to fold those down. And on your lid, you're going to do a little folding back and folding down, giving it a nice crease so it can open and close nicely. Okay, and then we're just going to take our designer series paper and we're going to glue it right on there. So you can use your liquid glue or you can use your regular tape runner for that. I will just Okay. And then I am going to add glue to the back of the tabs and the front of the tabs, but I'm going to do one at a time. So we'll bring back our base of our box here. And as you can see, we didn't glue these together. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to take this tab and we're going to sandwich it between these two pieces. Okay, and then we'll add adhesive and attach that. So all I'm going to do is put that in there, line it up. And before I really press it down, I'm just going to make sure that I'm even on both sides, because you're going to have a little bit of an overhang. Just like right there, and then I'll go ahead and tack it down. Yeah, that'll be good. And then I'm just going to add a little adhesive to the outside of that tab as well. And carefully press it in. Trying not to move where I had tacked it down. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing to the other side. You can use tear and tape here too. It's just that with the liquid glue you're able to move it around because it's not an exact science. So I'm going to go ahead and just add some glue here. Come in between. Tack it down. And tack the other piece down. Gently open it up and just push it down and make sure that it adheres to both sides of the paper. Okay. Now you've created your lid. And now we're going to work on the handles. So the best thing to do on your handles is to give yourself a little pencil mark at about 1/2 inch. You can eyeball it as well. I just thought I would mark it. I like it to be around 1/2 inch. And this is where we're going to put our brads and attach our handles. So go ahead and grab a hole punch. Well, first you would take your designer series paper and attach it to your handle. I told you, it has been one Monday. Okay, and then I will go ahead and do this one real quick. Okay, and just to know that those holes are the same, I simply use this as my guide. Okay. Then if you take your bone folder and just use that to make your curve on your handle, it'll help it take form much easier. Breaking down some of those fibers in that paper. And then I am using the round and square brads, and I was happy to see that those were returning. So do I want white? or black. I think I want black. So I'm going to go 2, 3, 4. I think they're returned. I'm pretty sure I seen that. So I'm going to grab my pencil, and what I'm going to do with this first handle is where my seam is right here. I'm going to line that handle right there. And then I'm just going to put myself a pencil mark, hopefully. And I have ever so slightly a pencil mark. Otherwise, you could just take your pokey tool and line that up and stick your pokey tool through right away. That will work as well. Let me pick this up. So I'm going to go ahead and thread. And I go ahead when I do that and I turn it in there a couple of times. That way, when I go to move my handles and stuff, I don't want a super big hole, but I don't want this tiny hole that prevents my handles from moving. And then I'm just going to line that up with that. Open my box. And then open my brads. Okay. And I am going to come to this side. Just kind of line it up using it won't be perfect, but it'll be close enough. Myself a nice little hole, or use my pokey tool if I want to do that. I just poked my finger, so that was lovely. And then I just have a hole. I don't even have to punch. So whatever you find easiest for yourself. Okay, one handle on, same process for the other side. Gonna line it up. I should have just hold that in place. And go ahead and punch that through. Okay, and the same thing on this side. we go. I got my brad off a little bit, didn't I? My whole... Oh well, it still works, as long as it works. Then you just have to work it a little bit, loosen up that paper. There you go. Little picnic basket made. I love it, love it, love it. Now I just put a quick, I just made a quick tag using that essential punch. I don't know where my scrap went, so I will just bring in another piece of paper. Punch that out. And then if you want, you can put a hole just using one of your paper punches. Jeez Louise, I'm so sorry. And then I just took this little gal with her arm and put that in an angle right there like that. And I didn't have any current Easter stamps. I didn't order any stamps this year. Nothing really appealed to me. So I just thought, you know what, do springy. You can do springy colors or whatever you choose, you know. Just age that a little bit, and then you can color that in. I took my blends. This is my dark Parakeet Party. And then for the paper that the flowers are in, I'm just using my light and my dark crumb cake. I thought this soft suede was a little too dark for me. Looks like my tip is bad. I better order myself some. Okay. And then I'll just come back in with that crumb cake and blend it all. Kind of give it that two-tone look there. Petal Pink blends. I think, is Petal Pink retiring? I think Petal Pink is retiring too. No, Blushing Bride is retiring. Got her hand. Wait. And then let's just do like a dark soft smoky slate for her shirt here. And then for the flowers, I use the light polished pink, the dark fresh freesia, and the dark Tahitian, the light Tahitian tide. Just randomly put flowers everywhere. No rhyme or reason to what I did. Oh, I did that one already. Goodness. Take the polished pink here. And when I'm working with the blends and not the regular markers, I just kind of make dots. Except that fresh freesia, it does not, I don't know what's wrong with mine, it does not work like the other ones. Probably dried out. And then I just took a little bit of liquid glue to the back and chose where I wanted it on my handle. Which I thought it looked good about right there. And then I was going to decorate it with some embellishments, but I don't know where they went. So I made a ribbon out of the linen thread. Glue dot works best, but then you can put your shred in there and just add your little goodies. And there you have it. There's your Easter basket or your picnic basket. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a very happy Easter, and I will see you again real soon. Thanks for watching, and happy crafting.